On today's video, we're taking a look at a new piece of technology by a brand that I really enjoy, Garmin. I've been playing with their watches and their rangefinders for a long time, and they just rolled out this Z30, which we're gonna put to the test out here on course. I'll show you the features, and we're just gonna have a lot of fun here as I play a few holes of golf together and hopefully go low. Wish me luck. Here is what is inside of the box. We've got, new for the Z30 series here is a new style of case. It's really nice, actually. And inside, here we go with the unit. Inside is some plastic, and I like this a lot. This is a considerably smaller form factor than what we had previously with the Z82. In fact, here is the Z82. I didn't like this case. It's kind of awkward to use. It's like a harder carbon fiber look to it, but it's like a harder shell there. But that is a much bigger form factor in the Z82. The Z30 I like a lot better, I gotta say. Inside you've got the battery, you've got a cloth, you've got some manuals, and you've got a little cord to wrap around the case as well to hold it to your golf bag. Garmin always does a great job with their packaging, but it's the product that counts. Let's put it to work. All right, we're back out here on course, and the innovation with this Z30 is the fact that it seamlessly connects to your other devices. So if you're wearing a Garmin watch, like my S70 on my wrist, for instance, or if you're just using the Garmin Golf app, when you get a distance from this rangefinder, it will translate onto those devices. Very, very cool. So it's way out there, but I've got a flag around 380-ish, something like that. We'll find out. This rangefinder, by the way, can go to 400 yards. So it's not like the 1,000 yards that you see with some of these like hunting rangefinders, but it's really all you need for golf. Now I just clocked that in at 374. And on my watch, guess what? It also says 374. And now I don't need to use the rangefinder the rest of this hole. I literally just need to look down at my watch at a glance and find out exactly how far I am. It's pretty amazing. Let's hit a drive and I'll continue to show you how that works. Oh, that's pretty darn good. Yeah, I'm in a pretty good groove with the driver. Now, another feature of this Z30 that I really love that was missing from the Z80, which was a little bit of a different device, and we'll talk about the differences between the two. But this new Z30 has a magnet, and at this point, I think all rangefinders really need to have those, especially if you're trying to market to the US market where most people play in a cart. I generally walk, but today I'm playing in a cart because it's so hot out here, it's humid, and I need to save my energy because I'm making a few extra videos. By the way, hit subscribe if you want to see those extra videos. But having a magnet is just a must in 2024. Now, if you haven't upgraded your rangefinder quite a bit, you'll notice that almost all of these modern rangefinders are super snappy. They've just gotten more and more quick over the years. And the analogy I always like to use is it's like going from dial-up to gigabit Ethernet in terms of speed. And you don't really notice it until you go back to one of those old devices. And then you're like, man, that is slow. So yes, you get distances extremely quickly here. I've got 119 on the rangefinder confirmed, 119 on the watch as well. I just stepped back a couple yards so you can see now I'm at 121 where I'm standing, but right up in front of me, 2 yards, 119. I'm gonna try to push it here with a 50-degree wedge. Let's see if we can do it. Got to get all of it though with this club. Did I? It's a good shot. It's right on line. It might be slightly short. Yes. Ooh. Always take a little more club in the morning. Don't make the mistake I did. It's like, do as I say, not as I do. And that's especially true here in Florida, where you can see I'm already basically sweating and it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. It's just so humid out here. It's so wet. There's so much dew on the ground here early in the morning that the ball especially picks up some of that dew and it's just not going to fly as far. Now, why am I talking about dew when we're talking about a rangefinder? Well, this Z30 is actually IPX7 water resistant, and that is a very high rating. I'll show you exactly what that means here on screen with a graphic, but suffice it to say, you're not gonna have any problems with this thing failing you when you are traveling and you find yourself in inclement weather. Like, I'm taking a trip to Scotland later this year. I need this thing to work, and I have no doubt it will. Touchy little shot because I don't have a ton of green to work with here. And my ball's got all kinds of mud and crap on it. Was it enough? Ooh, left that a little short. Okay, well, we got a tough putt here to make a par then. And we've done it. We've done it. All right, let's head to the par 3. Now I mentioned that Z80, and that was a rangefinder that I really enjoyed, but I do think it had a few drawbacks. First of all, the screen is not an optical screen, whereas this Z30, literally you're looking through glass. And while it was super high resolution, it just, lacked a little bit of, I guess, maybe reality. Now what's cool about that rangefinder is that it had augmented reality, so you basically could find every distance on the course. But when this Z30 is paired with a smartwatch like my S70, you've got that as well. Now of course this rangefinder, like most modern rangefinders, also has a slope function, and just like everything that Garmin makes, I expect it to be extremely accurate. Now I'm out here at a relatively flat golf course, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. But if you're traveling, like I like to travel a lot, and I visit places like I did last week, and I was up in the mountains of Tennessee playing golf with my kids, my depth perception is way off. And so having a slope function to me is worth it. And I really like how it's displayed here in the Z30, because not only getting the slope, but you're also getting distance to the front and the back of the green in the eye finder. Very next level. And again, it translates to the watch if you're wearing a watch. Now, a lot of people ask me, because I'm testing so much equipment on this show, they see me wearing watches, they see me using rangefinders, which do I normally use? Well, I will say that when I'm at my home club, and I, for the most part, know where the hazards are, that sort of thing, I really just stick with a rangefinder for the most part. But when I'm traveling, I almost always am wearing the S70, because that's where I don't know the course. I need to know how much is it to lay up in front of that water, how much is it to carry that water, how much is it to stay away from that left bunker in the middle of the fairway. It's so vital when I'm traveling. So do you need a combo of both this Z30 and the S70? No, you don't. You can actually get those same distances on your phone. You don't necessarily need to wear the watch. But I think it's cool what Garmin's trying to do here. They're trying to vertically integrate everything into the golf game, including your practice sessions. Now, another cool way you can use this rangefinder is, let's say you don't want to actually take it with you to the tee box. I've got a little bit of a walk there. I could literally just hit the pin here. I've got 166, and now I have a good idea of what I need to hit, but I'll get my exact distances up by the tee box. Knowing that it's just a couple more yards up here, I've brought along my 7-iron. And again, if I want a very exact distance, I can look down at the watch and see that I've actually got 169 here, which should be a perfect, hopefully perfect 7-iron for me. Let's see if we can make it happen. Good shot, just a little right side of the green. I think we're on the green. And if you haven't seen my reviews of the Garmin R10, that's the way they're doing it. So basically you can get data of how far you hit that 7-iron. How do I know how far to hit a 7-iron? Well, it's because I'm using a simulator all the time. And the Garmin R10 will actually sync up with the virtual caddy within the Garmin system and tell you all of your distances with every club. It's really, really cool. And if you haven't checked out that video, by the way, I'll leave a link down below to look at the virtual caddy built into the S70. It's amazing. All right, we've got ourselves a birdie putt. I'd say 12, 13 feet here, little right to left. I think we got it. Bam! Woo! A few folks, by the way, have mentioned they've seen a new putter on this show, and I'll give you a quick sneak peek of it. This is the Let's Play Through Docus Design prototype. I've teamed up with Docus Design from Japan, and together we have created this very special putter for the Let's Play Through community. I'll leave a link down below if you want to learn a little bit more. There's going to be more information coming. I can't tell you too much, but it is coming, so stay tuned and leave a comment down below if you're interested. Oh, love it when the putter heats up. We've got one last hole here to play, and there's a few more things to talk about. First off, battery life. That was kind of an issue with the Z80 because it used USB. It was an internal battery, and to me it was kind of clunky. You had to charge it all the time. I don't like doing that. I like to set things and forget them for the most part. One thing I like about the S70 watch is this battery doesn't need to be charged for weeks on end. But with this new Z30, it actually takes a replaceable battery, which will last you up to a year. So you'll have a full season out of this thing, maybe 2, with no problems. Whew, living on the edge. I think it's okay though. Now, the last thing I want to cover before we talk about pros and cons of this device and pricing and all that is this tournament legal? So many people always ask that question when they see technology that they've maybe never seen before. And this is pretty good technology with the front and back distance to the pin with that slope feature. And the answer is yes, this device is tournament legal. There is a mode button up here on top, and you can simply turn it into tournament mode. You've got a little LED here that tells you if you're in tournament mode or not. So your playing partners can verify that as well if they're really strict. But yes, you can use this for both tournament rounds as well as casual rounds. Now, I was living on the edge here, but I did take a look at the arc on the app. And again, that's very cool. If you do have an S70 or if you do have that R10, you've got everything integrated with Garmin. Again, knowing your club distances, it'll give you an arc of where that ball could likely miss. And I had a pretty good feeling that I would come up short of the water, which I did. Taking a look at the rangefinder again, very quick. I've got 90 yards. Let's finish strong. We're 1 under. If we can hit a good shot here, maybe we'll be 2. I'm gonna go 54-degree wedge here. I'm kind of in between clubs. So I'm gonna take a nice smooth swing in this deep rough. I know that's kind of an oxymoron, but let's see if we can pull it off. Now we cut through it pretty good. And is the distance right? Yes, it is. And by the way, if you are going to purchase this Z30 or really anything that Garmin produces, highly recommend you use our partners playbetter.com. You're gonna get the best price on the internet. You're gonna get free 48-hour shipping within the continental United States. And you're gonna get a hassle-free money-back guarantee that if you don't absolutely love it, you can exchange it or even get your money back with these guys. Best customer service in the business. They have taken care of so many folks here on Let's Play Through. Highly recommend them. Check them out. I'll leave a link down below. All right, let's finish this video up with the pricing and pros and cons. The pricing is $399. That is pretty high for a rangefinder. But if you are in the Garmin world, the Garmin universe, I think there is absolutely value there. If you're just wanting a rangefinder that's going to quickly give you distances with some slope, obviously there's a lot cheaper options out there on the market. So you just need to decide for yourself, do you need that extra added technology? Do you want the convenience, because that's what you're paying for? And do you want that precision of being able to know exactly layup distances, all that sort of thing using the app? That's the decision you've got to make in terms of pricing. I can't make that for you. What I can say is in terms of pros, again, I love the fact that in the viewfinder, you've got the front, middle, back distance. That is so very important. It's a huge mistake that amateurs make, including myself from time to time, where, you know, a pin's in the front, I see the distance and I try to play for that distance. No, I shouldn't. I should take an extra club and play for the middle of the green more often than not. I'm gonna score better if I do that, but you know, we just don't. But for me, having that added technology, that is a huge selling point. I love the fact that this is now a regular swappable battery rather than an internal battery. That's a huge plus. I love that they finally included a magnet. Another pro for this device for me is the form factor. I think it just fits in a hand even better than the Z80 did, which was pretty darn good. But this one's a little small, a little bit more portable. I like the case a lot better as well. It's a little thing, but I do like the case that they've included here with the Z30. Now, if we talk about cons, we can't talk about cons without talking about price. At $399, it is the higher end of the spectrum. And again, unless you are really in the Garmin universe, it may be overkill for you. Another not so much con, but maybe what could possibly be improved is I would like to see a little bit more optical correction. Some people have very shaky hands, especially as you get up there in age. This one does not have that built into it, so it'd be nice to see them add that in a future update. For me, it's not a big issue, but I know it could be for some people. So there's my pros and cons. That's my experience here with the Z30. Really enjoyed it. I played some good golf, but we've got to finish strong. Let's see if we can make this last putt. And to my point, I kind of got lucky here, but this could have rolled off the back if it was a drier day. Oh, I hit the pin and it didn't go in. That's cruel. I should have taken it out. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I've got a link down below to purchase this Z30 if you're interested, and I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play.